large point type. All right. Good morning. My name is Barb Jers, and I feel very honored that I was asked to address all of you for a few minutes. So sometimes I get a little emotional, forget what I'm going to say, so I brought my notes with me. So I understand, Mike, I'm not a public speaker, but we're going to go for it here. All right, the one constant thing in life is change, and I'm sure everybody understands that. They have change in their lives. You never know what will happen, nor can you always be prepared for what's going to happen. Now, if it was not for my family, my church family, and the YMCA, I'm not sure how Mason and I would make ends meet nowadays. So here's just a brief history of my family and how I came to be here today to tell you about this organization. All right, my 4 children were latchkey children also. They had after-school care when they grew up. It was at Thomas Jefferson Primary School, and I believe it was the Y back then that was our sponsor also. So I am now on my 2nd generation of Y kids. Loretta will be here in a minute, and she understands well about the next generation. So when my husband, and I call him a husband because he's not a husband anymore, left us 8 years ago. Yeah, he was a husband. He left us 8 years ago. I became a single income. All right. Now, then my youngest daughter informed me that I was going to be a grandmother again. It's always a joyous time in people's lives, except maybe for this daughter. All right. So I went to New Orleans, and I brought home my 8-month pregnant daughter to live with me. So Mason was born, absolutely overjoyed, and I helped raise him for 5 years. And then last June, she broke my heart and decided that she needed to go back to New Orleans and take him with her. All right? So then this past New Year's Eve, I get that phone call that a lot of grandparents get. Mom, I am homeless. I am jobless because I have nobody to take care of him and I cannot drive. I need you to take Mason for a while. So, January 3rd, a wonderful Christian friend of mine said, I've got a brand new car, let's go. We hopped in the car, we drove down to New Orleans, we stuffed that car full of everything that little boy owned, and we drove back home. So I have him with me, guardianship for an undetermined amount of time, whether it's just through kindergarten or I may be the oldest lady at his senior high school graduation, I'm not sure, but he is with me. So 2 days after we got home, he was enrolled in Thomas Jefferson Kindergarten. All right, and because I am a single income, I could not afford the after-school care. So I had to change my hours to work just while he was in school. And then I was going back of an evening, I was going back on weekends to make up my hours, and this was a real strain on both of us, not only because I was not home, but he was being doled out to either my other 2 sons or my daughter's home, and I'd be picking him up late at night and, trying to get him in school, in bed so that we get up and go to school. So I contacted the Y to see if there was any help available, and that's when Ellen Corbin came into our lives. If you do not know this young lady up here, you have to meet her. She is a wonderful lady and has helped us so much. You know that, girl. All right, so with the scholarship funds that were available, we worked out a payment plan that I could afford, and Mason was enrolled in the after-school program so that I could work my shift hours that I needed to and not, take him out to other homes and such. Now, not only has he benefited from the scholarship fund for the after-school, but has just recently finished his first basketball season at the Y, and he loved it. Oh my goodness. Between the staff, the volunteer coaches, this has been a terrific program. And was this the first year? No.
First year I had it.
You had it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, she did a wonderful job. The sports pledge at the beginning of each session, and it kind of shocked me the first time we did that there's a pledge that you do, and I think that is wonderful because it not only enforces our family values, but it also enforces the core value of the Y. Absolutely. Now, I cannot say it by memory, so you'll have to ask Ellen or one of the other people here from the staff. But it is about spirit, body, health, and doing your best for God. And I just thought that was wonderful. Now, remember earlier I said the only constant thing in life is change? Well, Mason and I are going through another change right now as I am currently unemployed. You can see me afterwards if you want a resume. It's very nice, all right? But after 35 years at the same job. So truly, I do not have any fears right now. I know that God has a plan for us, and I know things will work out. But because of the scholarship program and due to some very special friends in my church family, we have enough money to cover his full summer fee program. So when he's out of school, I don't have to worry about where my grandson is at. And because of these friends in the Y, this is taken care of. And that's why I'm here today. To remind everyone involved with this great organization of how important the YMCA is to the community. From the board members, and I know there's a lot of board members here that I got the privilege of meeting a few of you, to the staff and the volunteers, but especially to the people that donate to this organization. Absolutely, I truly do not know where Mason and I would be without the sponsorship help we received that the donors made possible. There's a lot of places that you could send your money. There's a lot of people vying for those dollars. But when you invest in a Christian organization, you're not only meeting the needs of the families right now and in your own community, in our own community, but you're making an eternal impact on all their lives. So just to close, I'll just say thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody for helping Mason and me, because you never, ever know what your life is going to take you or what changes are going to happen. So I'll just close by saying, and God bless all of you.